What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Oh, thought my ACC wasn't working for a second. This is round 3 of the North American Sim Racing Series Rookie League, and we're in Zolder today. I'm about to join the voice chat because, as you can see right here in the comments, it's probably a good idea to do so. So stay tuned. We've got an hour and 5-minute race. There's qualifying happening soon, and let's get that bag. Voice chat, voice chat. Where the man's at? There we go.
Exit road is like extra green. It's practically blue.
One thing, just make sure your vehicles are off when we're in the pit, so that way we have a dog.
And I won't be throwing a fit.
Larry, you would never throw a fit, right?
No, I just think it's fucking rude to have the car sitting there idling while you're trying to listen. Because I've had a car 2 cars down from me just sitting there rumbling away. And at one time, we had one guy who was sitting in the pits revving his engine, wanting to know what the fuck was going on, because he wasn't paying attention and listening into the chat.
Communication's hard. It's an adult thing.
Insert SpongeBob meme of rabbit. You mean rabbit?
You know, cars
That
that are
adulting is hard.
adulting is hard.
You can even hear my fuel pump.
Yeah.
Sure, my fuel pump is off now, Larry.
Alright, I'm gonna give the 3 cars that are out. Get this started. Okie dokie, artichokes. So
Right behind me, he parks.
Right.
Get
Alrighty. Let's get this started so we can get you guys back on track. This is round 3 of rookies of NASRS, so welcome. It's Zolder, which is a narrow, tight place that I'm going to lecture you all about how not to die, and then we'll talk about it after the race is over. Do we have anyone that's new? The thing I need to go over?
Yeah, Ryan, this is my first race here.
Okay, perfect. All right, then I will do the whole thing from the beginning. So my name's Devin Sturdivant. I'm the head coach and owner of NASRS. Larry Foster is also on the coaching staff here. We've got a couple other coaches that are here, but they're not here, and we'll introduce you to them later. And welcome to Rookies. This is our learning class where we take some time to figure out how to drive better after the races are over. It is a 50-minute practice with a 20-minute qualifying and a 65-minute race. I'm going to go through all of the race format stuff kind of by session first, and then fill in questions as we go. So if
Vincent.
yeah, I know, Vincent, God! If there are questions as you go, just jump in and say, hey, Dav, and I'll stop. We'll clarify and keep going. So otherwise, I will talk for the whole time.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, let's talk about Zolder real quick. It's all good, man. Let's talk about Zolder real quick. It is a narrow old track that has a lot of tight chicanes that people try to pass in when they shouldn't. So this track is huge on anticipation, especially because when you're following other cars, they'll brake in places you don't expect, and they'll be inviting places to trap you to try to pass where you will run out of road really, really quickly. So turn 1 and 2, kind of a pain in the ass because they sweep. Turn 4, sweeps. Turn 5, because of the tight chicane. Passing into the chicane is very difficult, and I would highly not advise it. Those who have been here before know what I'm going to say about cars having appropriate overlap. There's a decent amount of straightaway coming out of turn 4, going into turn 5, that you can get overlap with the car next to you so they can see you before the damn road turns. It shouldn't be a jump scare. It shouldn't be a surprise. It shouldn't be a slide in at the last minute. The car in front of you will not see you because it is turning for the road. I know we're going to cover this again in the debrief in 90 minutes time, but still I'm going to say it right now. For the love of God, if you do not have overlap for the cars ahead of you going into places like the chicane or like turn 7 or like turn 9, those passes won't work because your opponent is looking not at you, they're looking at the road. So please be aware. There are also lots of areas where you can get several track cuts in a row, especially going through turn 7. It's liberal until it's not. There are cones that immediately get knocked over every session, going through 5 and 7, that if you are 4 wheels off on either side where you're still on the paved section, but just off the track, it'll be a track cut. And it only takes 3 to get a drive-through penalty, so you want to make sure you're mindful of not cutting the track too much. Because we have 35 cars, there are a ton of cars in front of you. And what am I going to say about being in traffic? Question for the class.
Break ahead of your usual braking point.
Yes.
Don't
yes.
hit what you can see.
You can
All
see.
praise the church. Thank you.
Hello,
thank
send
you.
it.
Especially for those folks who are mid-pack back, right? A little bit of patience and waiting will go a long way, because even if you make a dive on someone when you're in 17th, best case you'll end up 15th, and that still sucks. So just wait and kind of let traffic work itself out and attack cars one at a time rather than trying to send through a whole group. Especially on the start, because we're all going to be all bunched up. A lift to just watch to see what the car ahead of you will do will save you dividends rather than trying to brake late when there's traffic ahead of you. So please don't die. All right, qualifying. So qualifying is 20 minutes long. We are all going to go out and qualify at the same time. Qualifying is not racing. I'm going to reinforce a point that I made last week because it really annoys the shit out of me. You are responsible for managing your own qualifying gap. If you catch a car in front of you, if you jump in front of that car, you're eating into the gap that they are trying to manage. So you need to work to manage your own gap. If you look at the mini map in the upper left-hand side for most people, you will have 3 different colors you need to pay attention to. The red dot is you, because you're the most important thing in there, right? Blue dots are cars that are on an out lap or on an invalid lap, which means they've fallen off the racetrack or invalidated in some way. The gray dots are cars that are on a valid hot lap. Now, we really shouldn't be passing in general. However, cars that are on a hot lap, the gray dots, cannot pass other cars on a hot lap, no matter what speed they're going. So don't just blow by a car because it's moving slowly. It's probably trying to manage its own gap to the car in front of it, and you're screwing up it and all the other cars behind it because you didn't anticipate it early enough ahead. That all being said, one caveat I have to that is please do not just park it in the last corner going to start your lap. It might seem like you're being thoughtful, but you're actually being kind of rude because there's lots of other cars all bounced up behind you, and it makes traffic. So use the whole out lap to manage the gaps of the car in front, not just at the last damn second. Okay? Cool.
Also, banking a lap is not a bad idea. Just get faster as you go, as you progress through qualifying.
Yep. A solid strategy with having this much time is what's known as a banker. So you go out, you do 1 lap no matter what it is, and then everything after that is a bonus. That way you're not having to stress to run a lap at the last minute. Especially with all the traffic here, you can sometimes easily lose the lap just because you caught a car that's several seconds a lap slower than you, and it's just the thing that happens. But you can't do anything about it. You just have to start over. So, oh well. The only one qualifier with this is cars that are on an invalid lap or an out lap. So they are a blue dot. So if a gray dot comes upon a blue dot, that means the car that is on their out lap is impeding a car on a hot lap. The car on the hot lap can pass that car, but why would you? Because you're going to lose a lot of time in the pass, and it's not going to be a good enough qualifying lap to count. So use your own discretion, but 99% of the time, it's not going to be worth it. Let's see what else we want to talk about qualifying. Ooh, yeah. When the qualifying session starts, from the beginning of the qualifying session all the way to the end of the race session. So for the next, 85 minutes, there will be no talking in the voice chat. There will be no using of the text chat. All the GGs and I'm sorry's in the world are fantastic. We know you're sorry. We all made valid mistakes. We all can hug each other right now, but we don't need to be doing it in the game because it's distracting for the people who are trying to drive. If for some reason you just can't help yourself, put it in Ricky chat because it won't ping the in-game Assetto Corsa chat, and that's okay. But don't use any of the in-game chat services. No need to talk, all of that. We go cover all the apologies and all the good jobs after the session is over. I've had a couple of people not pay attention to that in the last couple of sessions, and it's actually really frustrating. So please don't do that. It would make me happy. All right, we'll take a break. Ask if there are any questions before I start talking about the race. Ooh, look at that. All right, so the race. All right, so on the outlap, heading into the beginning of the race start, all collisions are off. However, do not pass through other cars in front of you. Pay attention to the car in front of you and do not pass in front of that car. This is the time where you warm up your tires and brakes. So you want to be dragging your brakes all the way throughout the lap. Try to get your tire pressure as close as possible. If you save it to the last minute, you will not have enough tire pressure and then or temperature, and the car kind of won't turn and won't stop in the very beginning, and you kind of need it to. So this is a good preparation lap to do those things. Pay attention to the 70 km an hour start at the very beginning of the race. You want to make sure that your car is in the green Assetto Corsa kind of target area when you start the race, and you want to make sure you're under 70 kilometers an hour before you start. I think that's 37 miles an hour, something close, because otherwise you will go to drive through, and that is terrible. The race distance is a single pit stop with a pit window, which is fairly broad, with a tires are optional and fuel is mandatory. So when you go to stop, you need to at least grab some fuel, and the pit stop fuel time is fixed. So regardless if you grab, no matter how much fuel you grab, the pit stop time is going to be 25 seconds. If you grab tires, it's going to be 30 seconds. This is not the time to ask me which one is better because it's all down to strategic use. Some tracks, it's better to have track position and save the time. Other tracks, most tracks, it's probably better to just have fresh tires so you have rubber. Kind of depends on the track temperature. Tire depends on the tire wear. Kind of depends, right? So that's just to add a little bit of strategic option for those who decide to take tires or not. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why you would, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why you wouldn't.
Outlap update. I'm thinking just before the chicane is where we're going to start bunching up. Or excuse me, the hairpin.
I think coming out of turn 9. So that way there's a long straight going before the chicane, and there's plenty of time. So wherever's on pole, when you get to turn 9, which is the hairpin at the end, you want to make sure you're getting the car slowed down and kind of getting everyone starting to get lined up. So you give the whole field a chance to get bunched up. Going fast actually doesn't help. It just spaces everyone out and makes timing annoying and stuff. So please pay attention to that. Let's see.
Pit stop entrance and exit.
Oh, yeah. So the pit stop entrance is coming out of turn 11 around here. So it is on the racing line. Super surprise. So when you're following cars as they are going in, you may want to provide a little bit of buffer as they are making their way into the pit stop, because some cars will... It's easy to visually follow a car into the pit lane because they're just going straight when you're trying to turn. So you want to give a little bit of time for that. There are 2 kinks going into the pits. There is the left-hander right when you first get started, and then there's a kink right before the timing line. So pay attention to both of those things. Make sure your car is in first gear before you hit the limiter. Make sure your limiter stays on the entire way. Make sure your limiter stays on until you exit the pits on the other side, because if you take your limiter off before you cross the line, you end up getting a drive-through and ruining all that hard work. So please don't go do that. If you have a moment, go into your setup screen and make sure that your tire pressures are set for your pit stop. So if you go into setup under mechanical grip in the middle all the way to the bottom, there's a button called
Fuel and
Set Current
strategy.
Pressure. Fuel and strategy, thank you. Fuel and strategy, right? So right at the bottom, there's a button that says set current pressures. That just sets your tire pressure to what your current set is at. So hopefully you guys have driven some laps already. You've set tire pressures so they're within the window. That way you can at least, when you calibrate your tires to the change in tire temperature, you can change that second set of tires to match that when you go out. For every 1 degree of ambient temperature, up or down, you go the reverse for tires. So if it gets warmer outside, then you can make your reduced tire pressure. If it gets colder outside, you want to increase tire pressure. Collisions, gentleman's agreement, just be nice and wait for somebody if you knock them off the road. We don't have stewarding here in rookies because we have a post-race debrief after the fact where we kind of review things and talk about what we can be doing better and all of that. But it is kind of nice if you know you killed somebody to not just drive away. Let's see what else. What am I missing? Larry, what am I missing?
Exit of the pit.
Oh, yeah,
And the
okay.
pit line.
Yeah, all right. So the exit of the pit lane comes right out into turn 2. Those who are on a hot lap, like on the hot side of the track, do not cross the white line. That is the safety area for all the people that are coming out of the pits to have a safe place to pit. However, those who are coming out of the pits, pay attention to the cars that are on a hot lap, because it's a high-speed area of the track going into turn 2, and it's going right. So there's a possibility that the cars may cross across your point of view as you are coming out of the pits, so pay attention to your mini-map as you are making your way out. As a rule of thumb, cars that are exiting the pits have priority of that space. So you may see cars that are on a hot lap going on the outside line to avoid you as they were going around there, because you were in the place that they would be if there was no one there. things of that nature. So don't try to cut a car that's in the pit lane. Don't try to chop a car that's in the pit lane. Those cars all have cold tires anyway, so you're not going to really gain anything by being a jerk. So just give them grace and space, and that'll all be fantastic. Let's see what else. I think that's it.
No, there's something I'm missing. I just thought of it and I lost it.
Let's see.
Davin?
Yes? What's that?
The pit entrance and exit, that's technically part of the racetrack, right?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So the first left-hand kink all the way up to the timing line is technically part of the racetrack. So you don't want to overslow through there. Cars that are slightly better at navigating that portion will come up on you, and in rare cases can pass you there, but it's kind of hard because the cars are wide. Same with the exit, and probably more importantly on the exit, because the timing line is really, really early. The timing line is actually right in line with turn 1, and that whole curved area leading out is technically part of the racetrack. So you can gain time in that area if you hustle, if you make your way through there. But it's narrow and gated and stuff, so like don't hit the wall and shit. But also, cars behind you, if cars are leaving with you, will be pushing your ass out of there if you were going too slow. So hopefully you guys have practiced the entries and the exits, because that'll be part of the race too.
I have something to say if that's okay.
What's up?
Pay attention if you're being lapped, don't defend. Stay on the racing line.
Yes, we should talk about that.
Blue
Yeah.
flag. Yes, sir. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
that's what it was. Thank God. Okay, so if you guys haven't read it, I want you to go read it now. It's Rule 6.3. Okay, so Rule 6.3 basically says is if you are a lap car being lapped by the leaders, if you are in a battle or some sort of already engagement, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to slow down. You don't need to jump offline. We actually recommend that you just stay online and let the faster car do all the work, because the fast car has driven all the way around the racetrack to get you. It knows the way by. You think you're helping, but you are not. I'm going to repeat that again because a lot of people don't pay attention to when I say this. You think you are helping, but you are not helping by getting off the line. The fast car is already trying to use its excess speed to get off the line and get around you. You are actually getting in the way by thinking you are getting out of the way. So just stay online, and it's easier for everyone to negotiate. If you do want
Brakes
to...
after an accident.
Oh, yes, okay, I'll get to that. If you do want to disengage out of that, though, there are several short straights where you can kind of roll out of the throttle and make it easy for cars to get by. Coming out of turn 4 going into turn 5 is a place. Coming out of turn 10 into 11 is a place. Coming out of 11 going into 1 is a place. I wouldn't recommend it out of 2 and 3 because it's a high-speed corner and the cars are G'd up. But if you feel like you can communicate your car well enough that you just don't get run the fuck into, that might be a place. But use your own discretion about that. But don't jump offline. Don't weave. Don't move a lot, because all the other racing cars are trying to do racing stuff and you're not. That is also the same rule of engagement for cars that are multiple laps down. So if you guys remember the debrief from last week, we will have cars that will have overlapping laps, right? So you'll have a car that's 2, 3, 4 laps down, all intertwined. Pay attention to your MFE to figure out where you are, because if you're in 21st coming up against someone in 32nd and they're a lap down, they can still go around you. So just be aware of those things. Yes, if you get hit, hold your brakes. You're in a make-believe car that has 600 horsepower and wide slicks that you can't feel very well. So trying to do like a U-turn or spin in traffic with like these really broad turning circles don't actually help. Pay attention to your mini-map to make sure you're paying attention to cars, that there's an open space. 5 seconds may seem like a lot when you're all going similar speeds, but when you're not moving, 5 seconds is no fucking time at all. Best to try to, turn around either off the racing line or even off track slowly so that you can get back on track in a sane, normal, rational manner rather than just trying to jump back in like a psychopath, because your tires will be all dirty and it won't help you and it never works. So don't do those things.
If you're in the grass and you're trying to get yourself straightened out, pit limiter or first gear.
Yep. That's great. That's great. Let's see, what else?
4 minutes and that should be all of it.
Okay. I don't have much else. What else do you guys have for me? Great.
All good.
Well, you guys have a great time. You guys have a little bit over 3 minutes to get some laps in, so take 1 or 2 to maybe try practice pitting if you haven't yet. Have a good time.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Yeah.
Davin?
Yo. Yeah?
Just thanks.
Oh, thanks. Okay, I just heard Davin. I was like, yeah, that's me. What happened?
So I have the weirdest problem with the car's electronics. My brights get stuck on. I don't have a button bound for headlights.
Doesn't
Why do you
matter.
care?
Notice I'm here.
Sorry?
It doesn't matter. You'll never notice I'm here.
Yeah, I just can't turn them. I literally cannot turn them off. I don't know why.
Nobody will care.
MFD, maybe?
Maybe the trying forces it back on.
I'm guessing you have automatic lights on, and it's probably too early in the morning at the moment for the game to let you turn them off.
I will look at the assist later. Thank you.
But I mean, why do you care?
It's annoying seeing the little blue thing on my dash.
That's the one thing I leave on automatic because I just don't care.
Fair enough.
I know what you see. And then,
Sutherland, you just helped me test my force feedback, and I had nothing going into the chicane. It didn't mean you had to bail, man.
I was midway reaching for my push to speak button. I was like, shit, brake.
One other quick thing, guys. Remember, these wheels that we're using have force feedback in them. Please, please, please do not crash into another car. There is a possibility that you could actually hit somebody and it makes their wheel do whatever it's supposed to do, and it can hurt somebody. So please, no contact, especially if the car's not moving.
just to add, that applies even after the race is complete. Don't
Right.
hit someone just for the fun after.
All right, quality time. Degrees. 22nd. Yikes, man. .74. .3. Gonna enter this into my fuel calculator. I need 124 liters. Okay. So I'm going to try a different strat today with my fueling. I'm thinking of going a bit lighter for the first stint. So it's calling for 125 liters of fuel. So instead of doing half-half, I was thinking of doing maybe 45 for the first stint and then 80 for the second. So I'm going to be a little bit lighter to start, and maybe we'll see how that goes. Yeah, or should I go heavier? I don't know.
Hey Larry, real quick, you'll never guess who I just heard from.
And
It's Marcus.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Coming back.
I hope so. I'm gonna try to coerce him.
Nice.
Oh man.
I'll be right back.
Grab his arm and twist it.
Ah, you won't need that much twisting. The guy's a genius.
Just offer pie and cook and milk.
You're making me hungry, Ed. That's not fair.
Larry, welcome to my life. That is my persistent state.
Food.
All right, guys, we are on optimum. Let's find out what qualifying shows up as. And
The race shows
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the word.
Good luck, everybody.
Temperatures, check your tires, check your fuel. Have a clean race, gentlemen.
And I'm back. Yeah, let's try this strat today. So
Please remember to click drive around the 30 seconds area, because if not, you will be starting from the pits.
we go 45 and then fuel to add 80. So current pressures. Yeah, man, tire pressures are all over the place. I don't even know. Just hope I got them right. Otherwise, it could be very bad.
Remember, folks, patience you will have on lap 1.
80 liters, dry tires. Excuse me.
Oh, chocolate covered pretzels, Davin.
What?
He's fucking muted.
Snack of the day.
Well, sometimes you can actually hear him munching while he's talking.
All right, here we go.
drag your brakes, anticipate, and have a good night, guys.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you, Larry. Good luck, everybody. Be good.
Good race, everyone.
If you crash, crash hard. Make it impressive.
No.
Good luck, have fun, everybody.
Okay, here we go.
Coming up on the hairpin, guys. Start rolling up.
Oopsies. out. Oh my god. Spun another person, that's so bad. stop. Second pit stop. Yeah, let's do it.
Radio check.
Spotter, radio check.
Alright, let's see what we can do.
Pit exit's clear. Blue flag. Great driving. Keep it up. B31. Car ahead is Cortez. Blue flag. Your right sides are cold. Blue flag. Reeling, Cortez in. The gap is now 18 seconds. We've just had a warning for cutting the track.
On your left, clear left. Left side, clear left.
So we've got 80 liters in, and the car's really heavy.
Gap to Torres. Behind is increasing. It's now 10 seconds. Your left front tyre is running hot. B29. Torres behind is pitting now. reel in Cortez in. The gap's now 13 seconds. Leader's pitting now. Singh is now in the lead.
There he goes.
Blue flag. Cortez in. The gap is 6.9 seconds. They're slow into the second chicane. B27.
Right side, clear right.
Yellow flag. Green flag, all clear. Flag, sector 2, 22nd place. You've just done a 1:31.56. Good lap, that's your quickest today. Yellow flag, sector 2. Sector 2 is clear.
What the heck happened there?
Your front brakes are getting pretty hot. Yellow flag.
We got punted into oblivion.
Green flag, you're clear. 3.7 seconds. Fastest lap for Singh on 30.90. Blue flag. Track limits, watch those lines. Blue flag. Yellow flag. The incident's clear. Green flag. D19. Your brake temps look good. Yellow flag. Green flag, incident clear.
Car right, clear right.
The leader, Singh, is pitting.
On your right, clear right. On your right, clear right.
Holmes is leading the race. You're locking your right front going into the hairpin. B21. The gap in front has increased to 4.8 seconds. about track limits.
Race is such a disaster.
Gaps now, 1.8. They're faster than us into turn 1. Yellow flag. Incident clear. Green flag. We've just cut the track. Your front brakes are getting a bit hot. P18. Yellow flag, stay sharp. The leader, Holmes, is pitting. Green flag, you're clear of the incident. Gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 4.1 seconds. Green flag in sector 2. That lap time was 1:31.69. Sector 3 is 0.42 off the pace. Your lap time was 1:32.05. fastest lap for Fuentes, 1:30.86. Front is now 3.6 seconds. P17, focus on the exits. You can go faster here. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1. Sector 2 is 0.30 off the pace. Sector 3 time is fast. That's halfway. You estimate 23 minutes of fuel remaining.
Car left. Clear left.
That last lap was a 1:32.00. Half your fuel left. Don't panic, you've got time to sort this out. 20 minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left. Your lap time was at 1:31.86. Sector 2 is 0.8 off the pace. Front is now 1.0. 1.9. He's faster than you into the second chicane. B17. Green flag, sector 1. The stewards have warned us for cutting the track. Keep it between the white lines. The gap ahead is now 5.2. We've been warned about track limits. Left, that's 15 minutes. Relax, focus, keep it smooth. 4 seconds. Yellow flag, track limits. Incident clear, back to green flag. The gap to third behind is now 10 seconds. Brake temperatures are fine. That lap time was 1:32.40. Lap times are pretty consistent. You've got 10 minutes left, 10 minutes to go. What's going on, mate? Come on, get your act together.
There goes Singh.
Reeling this car in. The gap's now 6.7 seconds. They're slow through the first chicane. Yellow flag. Incident clear, green flag. Your last lap time was at 1:33.37. Sector 3 is now clear. Minutes of fuel remaining.
Clear left. Left side. Clear left.
The gap ahead is now 1.0. Gone out of track limits, keep it between the lines. Sector 3 is yellow. Green flag in Sector 3. To go, 5 minutes left. Stay focused, we're still in this. Your front brakes are pretty hot now. About track limits, keep it between the lines. You're wasting time behind this guy, get your elbows out and get round him. They're pretty slow into the first chicane. Flag, Sector 2. We think Cortez has stacked it in. Terlemenbocht.
Car right. Still there. Clear right.
The gap in front is now 1.1 seconds. Great move. Keep it up. Of fuel remaining, 5 minutes. 16th place. The gap behind is now 0.8.
Car left. Clear left.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go. Keep it within the track limits. We're running on fumes, mate. Sector 2 is now yellow.
Left side, clear left.
Green flag, Sector 2.
Car left.
It looks like Cabrera has gone off in the second chicane.
Still there, clear left.
Brilliant, nice one. Cut the track. Keep it nice and tidy. Just had a drive-through penalty for cutting the track.
Damn it.
You need to come in for this penalty in the next 3 laps.
What happens if I don't? What's the last lap?
Very little fuel left.
I think I should pit.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
Oh man, rough. Plus 30 seconds away. Alright guys. I'm gonna head off for today. See you next week. Yeah, hopefully it's not as rough as that one. Next week is Zandvoort. Thursday, same time, same place. See you then. Hopefully y'all have a good week.
B22. Okay, we're done.